Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another, what I think is going to be amazing episode of the Nobody Asked for This podcast. We have made it to August. Well, okay, in all honesty, we actually haven't made it to August yet. It is technically still July at the time of recording, but when you hear this, it will be August 1st. Now, I do have to say, I like when a recording of the Nobody Asked for This podcast falls on the 1st so that I can record and be fully in the month. I don't know that I love recording in I'm like this. By the time you hear this is going to be so old. This was recorded last month ago, which will be the title of the episode. Let me just update that really quickly. Last month ago. LMA. But anyway, I'm just calling to you from the past. That's actually crazy that July is over. I feel like July hasn't even started yet. So, I'm not really sure. You know, sometimes you just look at the calendar and you're like, no, that's not going to work for me. And my problem is, some of the months, like, I would love you to go fast. Like, February, I'm looking at you. If you would like to take a note from the July month and, you know, haul ass to the finish line, I would really appreciate that, because not to be rude, but no one likes you. And here's the thing, I almost feel bad for February. And February, you know what? I'm going to change my tune here. February, you stand your ground, because here's the thing. In some parts of the world, I believe February is actually summer. And then on top of that, February has tried to make itself smaller. It's already the shortest month, and then people already dislike it. Okay, you know what? I'm having a full, not 360, because that would mean nothing changed. I'm having a full 180 on February. I actually love February. Like, I don't. It's the worst month. It's gloomy, and not even the good type of gloom. I can do, like, November gloom, because that's cozy, but for some reason, like, February gloom, it's probably all the same gloom when you think about it. Like, it's just like, if summer is the peak, it's just like the other side of that. You know, if it's like a curve, what is that term in elementary school? A parabola? If it's a parabola, you know, fall is the left side of the parabola. And then, like, winter's the peak, but winter's cozy. And then spring is the other side of the parabola, just to get to summer. And everyone hates February, but everyone loves November. Now, obviously, I'm speaking for a lot of people here. And I don't know if they would all feel the same way, but I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. More literally where I'm at is I am 1,000 years old. I'm sitting at a bank at 8:50 in the morning. Not to brag, needed to deposit some money. Not any money I've made from the Nobody Asked for This podcast, but because I wouldn't need a bank for that. But I am just waiting for opening, deciding if I'm going to be the person that, like, stands at the door and waits so that I'm the first person in. That's a little bit embarrassing, kind of depending. I feel like the only place where I could confidently do that without second thoughts would be, like, I'm going to Mexico tomorrow and need a new passport. Like, I've planned a vacation. I need to be the first person in the line and, like, line up at the passport office like it's, I'm kind of not auditioning for the new iPhone, trying to get the new iPhone. So I'm just gonna wait it out in here. But then the problem is, if someone else comes up to the door, there's already a line. That's annoying. Am I gonna be a part of that line? I kind of don't mind, like, a communal line. I feel like people, you know, you can bond. You can bond with your fellow neighbors. It is kind of funny. Sometimes I look around and go, like, it would be weird if I walked up to a stranger and started talking, but why? You know, like, we could be related somehow, far enough back. You know, aren't we all just one people? I don't know. I just think that some days I'm the person that, like, wants to talk to people and meet strangers. I feel like I like a stranger. Like, one of my favorite types of people are person that I can have, like, a funny conversation with that I will never see again. Like, in a lineup, or I mean, I've been to like maybe 2 concerts in my life, but like if I went to concerts more, I feel like that happens a lot there. I don't want to continue this relationship outside of, the door's opening. The bank door is opening. I don't want to continue this relationship beyond this lineup at Whole Foods. Not that I'm going to Whole Foods. This lineup at Taco Bell. But I appreciate the moment while it's happening. Okay, I'm just going to narrate. Something happened. I saw the door open, but then one person from the line went in, and one person is still waiting. Now, not to brag, I was here before both of these people, but I did not have the guts to go stand in the line, even though I just talked about how I like talking to people. I don't make sense, okay? I never said I made sense. I never probably will make sense, and I've made peace with that. I'm getting a little bit confused. It looks a little bit like there's like a COVID social distancement order enacted, because why are you waiting outside? Maybe he just wants the fresh air? Is it payday, maybe? It might be. Do people have the same payday? Anyway, I'm just going to wait here. But see, I'm being productive. I'm recording an episode of my hip podcast while I'm waiting. And that is something I for sure could not do if I was in the line. I couldn't be like pulling out my fancy podcasting equipment, aka my phone, which is a little more fancy these days because I fixed the cracked screen and don't have the green line going down the center, which a week or 2 out of having the green line, I'm starting to appreciate clarity a bit more. Getting to kind of see my whole phone screen. My phone screen looks a lot bigger to me. The color looks a bit off of the actual screen because I was used to it being like dimmed but then really bright on that one strip, and then everything was green. So this is really, it's a whole new life for the low price of, I think it was $129.99, which is arguably like too much money to spend on a phone that's 5 years old, but hey, never said I made sense. That really is the thesis of the Nobody Asked for This podcast. The first thesis, obviously the overarching thesis, is no one asked for this, and I think we all know that. Particularly, I can't say that word, because, there's no one listening to this, so it's like accurate. Like the day I get listeners will be the worst day for the title and my brand. But for now, we're riding this high. Okay, it's 8:59. I'm not seeing any movement in the space. I haven't seen who went in. Maybe she works at the bank? Anytime I stare at a stranger and like either narrate what they're doing or try and figure it out, it makes me wonder like how many people do that to me. And I don't know if the number is like way higher than we think, or like literally nobody cares. Like I can't tell, another person is entering the line. Okay, the door's opening. I gotta go to let everyone know that I was here ahead of time. But we'll talk soon. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, I did it. I unfortunately did have to wait a few minutes. I think that's just, it was kind of the game I was playing. I was playing a risky game. Sometimes on a Friday, you just kind of want to roll the risk. Now, I did just give away a nobody asked for this secret that no one asked to know. I am recording on a Friday. That is not the usual recording day for me, nor has it ever been. But listen, plans change. Sometimes you gotta just wake up on a Friday and decide, hey, I'm going to record my podcast that comes out on Thursday. And that's what I'm doing. I have to be completely honest with you. What is about to happen is a little bit of I can't fully comprehend if this is time traveling or not, but essentially this is what happened. I'm recording a couple episodes, and I explain it more in the next episode. And why I know what the next episode sounds like is because the episode that will come out next week has already been recorded, because I'm recording a couple episodes in advance, and I plan to record 2 on one day. And because I have focusing issues, I did 10 minutes of both episodes. With the second episode, the episode that's coming out next week, was going to be me taking BuzzFeed quizzes. But then it took me about 15 minutes to actually use the internet properly and use my, computer the way it was intended, and essentially got to the end of the episode and only recorded, or had only taken 2 BuzzFeed quizzes. I only knew 2 extra things about myself, and I wanted to know at least 2 or 3, 4, 5, or 6 extra things about myself. So what is going to happen is you are now going to hear me taking BuzzFeed quizzes that are new to you, in terms of, you're going to hear, me take 2 BuzzFeed quizzes, but it's actually me taking like my 3rd and 4th BuzzFeed quiz of the evening. And you'll hear the struggle of me trying to get to the BuzzFeed website in the next episode, as well as 2 more BuzzFeed episodes. One BuzzFeed quiz that I take next week might involve cupcakes. So, it's very confusing. Also, it's less, I feel less, bad's not the word, but for lack of a better term, I feel less bad about doing it this way because, again, nobody asked for this, and no one really listens, so no one's really going to know. It's really just between you and me. So, onward and upward with the BuzzFeed quizzes on a Friday night. I'm drinking a hot decaf coffee. I talk about all this next week. Let us go. I think I'm going to do this. This quiz is called You Either Have a Youthful Soul or an Old Soul. Whip up some pasta to reveal your match. Let's do it. This one was published July 24th, 2024. Is that today? That was 2 days ago. I don't know the date. You either have a youthful soul or an old soul. Let's find out. Okay, and I encourage everyone to play along at home. Unless you're driving, I would just maybe say your answers out loud, and then we can maybe just kind of guess within yourself what the algorithm would have taught you. Is BuzzFeed the original AI? I feel like I've just started to hear the term algorithm a bit more. And I feel like BuzzFeed is the original algorithm. Anyway, pick a pasta shape. I love one that it's a food, obviously, because I love anything that has to do with food. And then you get to pick each element of the food, and then it tells you something very deep about yourself. I think there might be something to that. I don't know how psychological. Is there psychiatry involved in BuzzFeed? Or is it they're just sort of winging it? I would respect both, truly. Okay, pick a pasta shape. Fusilli, which, judging from the picture, if anyone doesn't know, I might be a pasta expert. It looks like a spiral pasta. Gnocchi, everyone knows is the best pasta. Linguine, not so bad. Macaroni, great. Spaghetti, a classic. Penne. I actually love penne, but gnocchi is, I just love a dumpling. It's basically a potato dumpling. I think people know what gnocchi is, but especially because Trader Joe's is really put gnocchi on the map. Okay, pick a pasta sauce. Love this. Alfredo, classic, you'll get bubble guts, but worth it. Bolognese. I don't know how fancy I should be pronouncing these. Carbonara. Now that is what I get at Olive Garden, but when you order it at Olive Garden, it's carbonara, because I had been ordering carbonara or maybe carbonara. I don't know. I don't actually speak Italian, if you couldn't tell. But I had ordered carbonara from Olive Garden several times. I don't think I had heard the word. I didn't fully understand what it was. But then I Googled a copycat recipe. If you are hearing how this is going, you're probably understanding how I ran out of time in the last episode I recorded, which is the next episode you'll hear, is that basically for each option, for each individual question, I talk for about 15 minutes on my personal relation to that thing. But if I'm not going to talk about myself, what else is there to talk about? Anyway, back to my meal at Olive Garden. I one day decided, hey, I can make carbonara. I can do this. So I Googled a copycat recipe, and it was specifically Olive Garden carbonara copycat recipe. And then a few months later, so I made it, and I made the copycat recipe. It was delicious. It tastes exactly like Olive Garden. Like it was what I was signing up for. It was what I was opting into. And then a few months later, someone made carbonara for me, and I was like, this doesn't look like mine at all. And then I Googled like what carbonara actually is, and it is like bacon fat and butter, I believe, is the two. Let's see. Yeah, pork, hard cheese like a Parmesan, eggs, salt, and black pepper. According to Wikipedia, that is the ingredients. Now, nowhere in there did I say heavy cream or milk. I don't even think I said butter. So I, having heard this new information at that time, having the properly done carbonara, was like, there's no cream in this? And they're like, no, carbonara doesn't have cream or milk. And I was like, oh. And then having flashbacks of me pouring like half a jug of milk and like a full thing of essentially Coffee Mate into my Olive Garden carbonara. So just a PSA, don't fall for it at Olive Garden. It's very good, but it's not carbonara. It's essentially like Alfredo sauce, bacon flavored Alfredo sauce, which like, of course that's good. Anyway, other options are, I'll do a recap of the first three because I actually said them 10 minutes ago. It's Alfredo, Bolognese, carbonara, marinara, pesto, vodka. Okay, I could pick any of these options and live a happy life. I sound like I am on The Bachelor. Okay, like Alfredo, here's the thing. If I know that it's going to be good, I'm happy to kind of venture in like tomato sauce, red sauce, meat sauce territory. If I'm at, again, an Olive Garden, I usually go for like a cream-based sauce, clearly with the carbonara, because it's a lot hard. Like you essentially can't make it bad, you know? Now, what throws a wrench into all of this is that I would like to be laid to rest in a bucket of pesto. One, because it's cheaper. And two, actually it's probably not cheaper. Pine nuts, like a bag of pine nuts at Costco is like $50. And last time I checked was a couple years ago, so it's probably $75. But two, pesto is like, it's delicious. And I almost feel like if I can't choose between tomato sauce or like a cream sauce, like choosing pesto gets me out of the situation entirely, because then there's also vodka sauce. For whatever reason, I think vodka sauce is more of like an American thing. I'm sure there are like roots to Italy. Let's check. I meant to Google vodka sauce and I Googled like vodka. I just feel like it sounds American. Is vodka sauce American? I've made vodka sauce without the vodka before. Okay, the two places that lay claim to the invention of vodka sauce are New York City and Italy. Okay, so there's at least a little bit of an American touch. I'm gonna say pesto. Like, and especially like pesto gnocchi, because remember 15 minutes ago when I chose that as my first option? Let's go. Pick a topping. No topping. I'm not saying no topping. That's one of the options. The options are no topping, cheese, always cheese, mushrooms, sure, olives, amazing, parsley, great, rosemary, amazing. I feel like pesto has a lot of green in it, so for that reason, I'm going to say no to the rosemary and parsley, only because I want to add another element to the dish. Pesto also has cheese on it, but cheese is delicious, so I'm choosing cheese. I'll pick another topping. Splendid. Again, with the green theory, I feel like it adds like a nice like garnish. It looks nice, but not entirely necessary. So I'm going to be weird, and just for a little bit of veggies. Are mushrooms veggies? I guess they're more like beans. I'm going to choose mushrooms. Here we go. Pick a side. Amazing. bruschetta, which is actually, from what I've learned, pronounced bruschetta, but that sounds cringy. So, calamari, fries, salad, or onion rings. I mean, onion rings always, but not with my gnocchi, with mushrooms, cheese, and pesto. Love calamari, and I actually feel like with the gnocchi that would be good. I'm going to say calamari. And pick a beverage to wash everything down. Okay, no beverage. Okay, no offense. I feel like no beverage is like the same philosophy of like on an exam when it says all of the above. Like they just couldn't think of another option. Which, no offense, I get it. So the options are no beverage, cocktail, juice. Juice, but it's showing me like juice bar. Like, do they mean juice as in like Fruitopia? Mineral water, soda, or wine. None of these options are jumping out at me. So as after I made fun of the no beverage option, but you need a beverage. Okay, cocktail, I don't drink. Juice with pasta sounds disgusting. Mineral water, that works. Soda, for some reason, pop and pasta doesn't work for me unless, of course, you're at the Olive Garden. Then you do definitely need like some element of sugar to help like work the carbs and stuff through your system. I'm gonna say water, not because I want to be annoying, but because like in this moment, that's what I would order if these are my options. You guys, I got old soul. That's right, you're an old soul. I love the little write-ups. You've always been mature and wise beyond your years. Thank you. You definitely have an appreciation for the past. Did it just call me old? Like, that's essentially what happened here. And I'll take it. Okay, one more. So we'll do 4, but like this is really, you're only hearing the first 2. What would be a good quiz to end on? Okay, this isn't a quiz, but I think it could lead to some interesting discussions with myself. It's tell me which flavor is the best when it comes to these snacks. I would love to do that. This was written, by a community contributor. Don't know what that means. July 21st, 2024, so topical. And the author's name was GFFLUGG41. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that spells. Sure. Okay, Pringles. Our options are original, cheddar cheese, sour cream and onion, salt and vinegar. Now, I can't specifically recall like eating Pringles from each of these flavors, but I know that I have. And I say that because some chips, the flavors are better. It's the same flavor, but like different brands are better than others. Don't know why. Don't know how. Don't know when. I just know that it's true. Original, I'm going to need something a bit more. Cheddar cheese, not bad. Like, I think like a hot cheddar cheese is good. I mean, everything's hot honey flavored now. Hot honey is the new spicy dill pickle. A couple years ago, everything was spicy dill pickle. Now everything is hot honey. Sour cream and onion, always a classic, and salt and vinegar. I love salt and vinegar, but again, it's one of those flavors where like certain brands do it better. But okay, again, in this moment, I'm choosing cheddar cheese because that's what I'd want to eat now. This is very embarrassing. They show you the score to see if you're in the popular vote or not. Sour cream and onion got 44% of the vote. That's a little high. Followed by original, which got 31% of the vote. That's high. I can only assume that means that the people choosing original just like love bringing their own dip because you need a flavor. Not that original's bad, but like sometimes there is a place for original. But like when you had these other options, I don't know. Salt and vinegar got 13% of the vote, and then the one that I chose, cheddar cheese, only got 12%. So maybe I'm misremembering. Is that a word? Maybe the cheddar cheese flavor is gross, but like that's what I'd want to know. That's the one I'd want to try. Okay, Haribo gummy bears. Options are raspberry, orange, strawberry, pineapple, lemon. For those of you who don't know, this is like the fancy gummy bears that come in the gold packet. I'm going to say pineapple. I don't know this like full, like I don't, I just remember that, oh, they have pineapple gummy bears and that was a big deal. So, picked pineapple. I didn't pick a pineapple. I didn't like go in a field or anything. You know what I mean? Okay. I did a bit better on this one. The percentages were raspberry, 39%, then pineapple, 28%. I got second place. This is confusing because it says strawberry, but then the color is green. That's weird. Oh, yeah, and then the pineapple ones are, like, translucent. That's why I remember them. Regardless, green, that is strawberry. Then what got green? What flavor is green? Celery? Orange got 8% of the vote, and then lemon got 7% of the vote. That was rude of lemon. Okay, next. What is the best flavor of Oreo? I really like this game. Original Oreo, double stuffed, chocolate cream, Thins. I gotta say, again, I love Oreos. And I like a double stuffed Oreo. I do. I have no problem with a regular Oreo. When I'm eating a regular Oreo, I'm not thinking I want a double stuffed Oreo. Anything beyond double stuffed is too much, like the double stuffed or the mega stuffed. That's too much. Also, speaking of dairy, Oreos are vegan, which I love that they advertise it as vegan. So it's like, oh, it's like almost sounds healthy. But what it means is like there's no dairy. So like that cream we're eating is just, I guess, palm oil. Like, I don't know. I almost want, okay, first of all, I don't think I've ever had a Oreo where the actual cream is chocolate. I've had mint, I've had cinnamon roll, which they keep trying to rebrand as like churro or like cinnamon sugar. Like it's the same flavor every time, but they just call it something else. I kind of want to say a Thin. Like there's nothing better than an Oreo Thin. And it's not because I want to be thin. I'm not trying to be healthy. Like I'll eat the same amount, you know? It's like what do you think the ratio is? It's like 1 to 2-ish. So like instead of eating 3 regular or let's be honest, 10 regular Oreos, I'll eat like 20 Oreo Thins. I'm going to say Thins. Yikes. Double stuffed got 44% of the vote. I keep forgetting that there's, like, it tells you. Okay, I have something scary to say. I can't remember if it was in this episode that I just finished, or this one, or the one I just finished recording, but I said the word Taurus, and there's already a advertisement for, like, zodiac sign, like, horoscope readings. What the heck? The people that are in charge of my phone, like my like FBI people that make sure that I'm getting the correct ads, they have been on it this month. Truly. I've never spent more money. Anyway, double stuffed got 44% of the vote, original got 36% of the vote, Thins got only 13% of the vote, and then chocolate cream got 7% of the vote. Next flavor, or next food, Takis, we have original, Fuego, Blue Heat, Volcano. I've tried Blue Heat, they're not that hot. I don't think I've tried original. I don't think I've tried Volcano, but Fuego is perfect for me. And finally, I got the correct, and not that there's a right answer, but I got it. 45% of the vote. Original got 39%, Blue Heat got 12%, and Volcano got 4%. Skittles. I don't have a huge opinion on Skittles or like gummy bears, really, even though I said pineapple on the last answer, so it sounds like I'm a liar. But usually with those type of foods, like jelly beans, like that food group, I just grab a handful and all at once, which I think people think is weird, but we're going to say our options are strawberry, lemon, lime, grape, orange. I'm going to say lime. And middle of the pack. Strawberry won with 44. Okay, that's like kind of the classic. Grape was next with 21%. Lime, 20%. That was me. Lemon, 8%. I wonder if it was like tied and then... Oh no, because that would mean I had to choose purple. Never mind. Lemon was 8%. Orange was 7%. That's sad. Okay, Magnum bars. Classic, almond, strawberries and cream, cookies and cream. Classic's always good. I'm going to go almond. Strawberries and cream might be a little bit too much. And cookies and cream, I don't love, like, even that Hershey's bar. Like, I will eat it. Don't get me fooled. Like, I like it. But it just doesn't, like, I don't know. Like, it's cookies and, like, that type of, like, cookies and cream chocolate flavor, it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. All that to say, I was tied for first, and by me, I mean the almond Magnum bar. Classic and almond were tied at 34%, strawberries and cream got 10%, and then cookies and cream got 22%. Swedish Fish, my favorite candy, texture is chalk, it's perfect, never change it. The options are lemon, lime, orange, and red, which I guess the red flavor is, and it's telling me here, lingonberry, which is a Swedish thing because they have the sauce at IKEA. I didn't know that's what the flavor was. So let's go lingonberry. Why not? Overwhelming win. 72% for the red lingonberry flavor. Green, lime got 11, orange got 9%, and then lemon got 8%. Speak of the devil, Hershey's. The options are milk chocolate, plain, cookies and cream. I've just discussed my thoughts. Strawberries and cream. I don't think I've tried that one. And then whole almond. So it's essentially the exact same flavors as the Magnum bars. So again, this is a little bit, your homework was due at 11:59 and it was 11:50. I respect it. I've been there multiple times. I feel like I did almond last time, so I think just original. Again, I'll eat it. I'll never say no. Okay, so this is where I differ with the BuzzFeed community because the winner with 38% of the vote was cookies and cream, followed by 34% original. Hershey's original best, or honestly, Hershey's in general is the best for s'mores, which we've detailed heavily in the previous weeks. Whole almond got 24%, and strawberries and cream got 4%. My next favorite food group, Ben & Jerry's. Options are cookie dough, half-baked, peanut butter cup, strawberry cheesecake. My actual favorite flavor, which is the Banana Foster one, is not on here, so we have to keep that in mind. But with the options in front of me, here's my thing with Ben & Jerry's. I think they're great. I want to send love and positivity to both Ben and Jerry. The only problem is I feel like most of the flavors, it's the same thing. It's A plus B plus C, B plus A plus C, C plus B plus A, and then whatever other combinations of the three there are. Like, it all equals the same thing. It'll be like chocolate chunks, vanilla ice cream, peanut butter swirl. And then the next flavor will be chocolate ice cream, vanilla swirl, white chocolate chunks. And then the following flavor, peanut butter ice cream, chocolate fudge, white chocolate chunks. It's like, okay, like this is the same. It tastes the same because it's all the same ingredients. But given what's in front of me, cookie dough, I love cookie dough. Peanut butter, I love peanut butter. But like half-baked is both of those things. And then I do love strawberry cheesecake, but I think I would rather like just eat a strawberry cheesecake than eat strawberry cheesecake ice cream. Although again, I'll never say no. So I'm going to go half-baked. And I was tied for winning. Again, I love how I take it so personally. Oh, update. Okay, so technically cookie dough and half-baked both got 35% of the vote. But if you look at the actual number of votes, cookie dough got 5162 and half-baked got 5109. So I'm not going to go, I didn't realize this until now, but I'm not going to go back and fix all the times where it looked like I was tied, but I wasn't. But I will be honest in saying I technically got second this time. And then peanut butter cup got 16% of the vote and strawberry cheesecake 14. Alrighty. Last one. Chocolate bar. Bounty, Snickers, Twix, Mars bar. Again, it's kind of like... Okay, so Snickers and Mars, I believe the only difference is peanuts. I love both the Snickers and a Mars. I think Snickers are... Like, I like the idea of a Snickers more, but, like, I think I've had more Snickers than I've had Mars. So, like, anytime I see a Mars bar, I get really excited. Twix I love because it's more of like a cookie base. And then Bounty I haven't had a whole lot of, but I love caramel. But again, if I'm looking within and picking what is speaking to me in this moment, while I love peanuts, I just think the texture of a Mars bar is perfect. It's like, I just was recently introduced to Three Musketeers, which I think is a Mars bar without the caramel. So it's like a Mars bar is a Snickers without the peanuts and the caramel, and then a Mars bar is a Snickers without the peanuts. So let's meet in the middle, and I'm going to say Mars. Although I love all of those options. Oh my gosh, I lost by a near landslide. Twix got 46% of the vote. Snickers got 35% of the vote. Mars got 11% of the vote. And then Bounty, no offense, got 8%. Isn't that a paper towel brand? Not sponsored. Anyway. Now that all that is sorted, I encourage you to tune in to next week's episode, where at the beginning it'll sound like I've never done a BuzzFeed quiz in my life, and then you'll hear the journey of me trying to get to the website, and then take the first and second quiz, which you'll hear as the third and fourth, but really happened before anything you're hearing now. I've never seen the movie The Matrix, and I've never seen the movie Inception. Is it called The Matrix or just Matrix? But I think it's what you're gonna experience and what you have been experiencing over this episode and next are similar to those films, from what I've heard. And if you want to hear more, to hear this week's episode and then next week's episode in the future, you can go to podcastnobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. On there, you can just listen to the show straight on the website. You can also find our links to, I don't know who R is, but the links to our Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, quite a few places, not to brag. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. We will continue taking BuzzFeed quizzes next week. This is a really unique opportunity for me because I know what next week is going to bring. And like, just as a normal person living life, that doesn't always happen. So, knocking on wood. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. And I'll for sure talk to you next week. That's so exciting. Okay, goodbye.